Good evening. I'm going to talk to you today about artificial intelligence, or AI. I want to start by terrifying you right down to the bone, because I think the term AI is thrown around very casually these days. We've all become very used to hearing it, very comfortable with it. You hear it used to describe the difficulty level in a video game. It's as if people have in their minds, C-3PO or R2-D2 from Star Wars, as if that's what they think when they hear AI. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. I'm talking about a computer or a piece of software that can think for itself, create, invent, conduct scientific research, produce things, perhaps even produce works of art, literature and music, perhaps even feel emotions, like a living thing. I think a lot of people have this comfortable little notion that human intelligence, even human personalities, are some kind of magic. And there is magic to them, there really is, but there's just no reason to think that we could not create computers that could do this too. And we've got to take this seriously because people are working on this now. There are millions and millions of pounds of research money that is being spent on creating machines that can think and act intelligently. And there's just no reason to think that they won't succeed. To think that artificial intelligence of the type that I've just described is impossible is, at this stage, it's really no better than a bizarre faith claim. I wish that weren't true, but it is, and we need to cotton on to this fact. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here's an interview that Sam Harris did with Joe Rogan, and he's a proper serious neuroscientist, and he's looked into this, so you really want to take him seriously on this point.
There's no reason to think this isn't possible. I mean, the most skeptical thing you can honestly say about this is that this isn't coming soon, right? It's like this is not, but to say that this is not possible makes no scientific sense at this point. There's no reason to think that a sufficiently advanced digital computer can't instantiate general intelligence of the sort that we have. There's no reason to think that. I mean, the intelligence has to be at bottom some form of information processing.
I just don't think that you can argue with that. It's as he says, intelligence is ultimately the ability to process information. What else could it be but the ability to take in inputs, take in information, and do something useful with them? And information processing is exactly what computers are good at. So then if we assume that it's possible, what's the problem? What am I worried about? Wouldn't it be nice if we could have robot servants doing all the work for us, like in a sci-fi movie? The problem is, computers are just so much faster than us.
And that we would be in the presence of something that is like having an alternate human civilization in a box that is making thousands of years of progress every day, right? So just imagine that if you had in a box, the 10 smartest people who have ever lived, and every week they make 20,000 years of progress, right? Because that is the actual. We're talking about electronic circuits being 1,000,000 times faster than biological circuits.
I want you to really think about that. Understand it. Just imagine you've got this computer, which is just of average human intelligence. It's got an IQ of 100, but it's a computer and it's 1,000,000 times faster. The implications are phenomenal. It's as clever as you, but 1,000,000 times faster. So in 1 year, it can do what would take you 1,000,000 years. It can do, as he said, thousands of years of work every day, 20,000 years work in a week. And it doesn't even stop there. because you might have heard this term, the singularity. So we're talking here about a machine that can alter its own code and improve itself. So now it's getting better. So when it started, it could do in one day what would take you 1,000 years. Well, now what would have taken it 1,000 years before, it can now do in a day. And so it goes on. Exponential growth, chain reaction, out of control. Possibility 1. It doesn't like us. Or we decide that we don't like it and we want to get rid of it. Game over. No ifs, no buts. You can't fight something like that. Forget it. It can think so much faster than you. It can hit so much harder, see so much further, hear so much better. There's no stopping it. It's like trying to take on your calculator at computing the sine function. Just think about that. Think about how much better than you at arithmetic your pocket calculator is, how much faster it is, and it can fit in your bag. Think about it. Imagine the power of this AI. It's no good telling yourself it will be like in the movies where there's, a terrifying dragon, but a band of plucky, creative, brave people come together, and because they've got that little spark of humanity and they're working as a team, they bring down the dragon and they save the world. Because why should there be just one? Why should an artificial intelligence rely on a body? Why would you imagine, like, a monster in a cave? Just one of them. I mean, it's just software. It's just a program. It's just data. It can install itself on any computer it likes. You can't imagine that there will be one physical monster that you can go and kill and slay the dragon and save the world and everything will be fine. Why should it be like that? It'll be like a hydra. You kill one, 1,000,000 more. There won't be the mothership that you can take out and go back to how things were. It will be invincible. Accept it.